Hi boys and girls, today I'm going to show you a lot of the steps you need to finish your Ojo project. In this video I'm going to demonstrate wrap it to trap it, keeping balance in your design, how to make a star, how to make an over square, how to make an under square, how to make an octagon, and how to do an outline. It is always important with your Ojo project to keep balance. Whenever you do an octagon wrap, like this peachy colored pink right here, an octagon wrap touches all 8 of the arms of the Ojo, so it automatically has balance and symmetry. But if your pattern calls for any kind of square, a square will only utilize 4 of the sticks. As soon as you build a square on 4 of the sticks, your very next wrap to do will be another kind of square on the other set of sticks. And that will balance out the Ojo. For example, on this project, I did a dark purple over square, then I did a light pink under square. Then I went back to the other sets of sticks for an under square. Now that means my very next wrap must be on the other sets of sticks, back to these. So I did square with dark purple, square with light pink, square with light purple, and now I'm going back to the pink sticks here. Let me show you how to wrap it to trap it. This technique is what we will use to start each wrap. On the back, you place the tail of the string you're about to use and hold that with your left thumb. Then take the string and go to the right, wrap around the back of the stick and trap that tail in. Wrap it a second time and trap it again, crossing over that tail. When you flip your Ojo back to the front, it will now be secure. If I pull on this, it doesn't go anywhere. Let me now demonstrate for you a over square. An over square will connect 4 sticks. I will skip over 1 stick, go here, and wrap around. I will skip over this purple stick, go to this corner, and wrap around. Again, skip over the purple, lay this here, and wrap around. And skip over the purple, lay it here, and wrap around. You should see now this pink colored, dark pink colored over square developing. Over squares get 8 rows of wraps. Each row must lay next to the last piece of yarn that you laid down, not over or crisscrossing in any kind of way, nice and tight and flat. Over squares do cover up over some of the other parts of your project. That's how they work. Over squares are used a lot in a number 2 and a 2A pattern, and also in a 4. Over squares reveal the edge of the square, whereas an under square, which I'll demonstrate next, only reveal the corner of the square. I'll show you the under square next. An under square begins with wrap it to trap it, just like I showed you before. But instead of skipping over this purple stick, I'm going to skip under the purple stick. I'm guiding the string underneath, then I pop up and go over and around the pink corner. Turn my whole Ojo. Skip under the purple stick, pop up, and go around the pink corner. You are doing it correctly if you see the wrap crisscrossing here at the corner. All those crisscrosses will build to be a solid corner of yarn. That is what an under square should look like. and like this purple one here. So I skip under the purple, that's why it's called an under square, but I always pop up and wrap over and around. Skip under and wrap around. The tricky thing about under squares is you actually need 10 rows of these. The reason you need to make 10 rows of under squares is because they're really hidden away with only the corner being revealed. So it takes 10 rows of these in order to make an impact on your Ojo and to really be seen. You would continue for 10 rows. If you forget how many rows you have, you can flip it to the back and count until you see 10 rows. Every time you make squares, remember to balance it with a square going in the other direction. Follow your pattern and do what it says. If you decide to make a star on your pattern like this or like this, it must happen right after you do your beginning octagon that connects your Ojo sticks. These stars are completed by skipping every 2 sticks. So once you wrap this stick, you skip, skip, and wrap, skip, skip, wrap, skip, skip, wrap, and so on. Eventually it connects all the sticks. You can go a second time around to double up the star, and then you always finish it with 5 rows of octagon just to really give it a solid look. If you like the look of a star like this, or some other kind of accent, these kinds of stars are done at the end. These little thin pieces are done at the end in a special way, and I will show you that when we reach the end of our Ojo project. So I want to demonstrate how to do the star. If, for example, you wanted to do this white star on this project, make sure again you pick a color that would show up over the center. Instead of hitting every stick, which makes an octagon, or every other stick, which makes a square, you're going to skip 2 sticks and wrap it around the next one, like that. Skip 2, wrap around. Skip 1, skip 2, wrap around. Skip 1, skip 2, wrap around. Skip 2, wrap around. Skip 2 and wrap around. Skip 2 and wrap around. And then when I skip 2, now I see I am back to the beginning. So I hope you can see. Let me lift up the camera. This is the star. What you would then do is complete that with 5 rows of an octagon of this star colored yarn. So now that would help me get a nice white border to accent and show off the star. So I would continue 5 rows of this, and then I would wrap it, cut it and wrap it on a stick and tuck it with a knife. If your pattern calls for an octagon, just wrap every single stick. Start on the back on any stick and wrap it to trap it. Then flip to the front and connect the corners of every stick. An octagon as part of your Ojo pattern gets 8 rows. Make sure each row is tight and connects the corner of the wrap before, and also make sure that you hide other wraps like this one here. Go smooth and tight next to the last piece of yarn and complete it for 8 rows. If your pattern calls for an outline, you're going to do an outline for 3 rows. Here's what that means. Let's take a look at this example. This example is a number 7, and it calls for undersquares with outlines. Remember, undersquares have corners that get revealed. We do 10 rows of undersquare. In this case, they did 10 rows of a white undersquare. They followed that up right away with 3 rows of red. To get the outline, you follow the same pattern that you just did on the same set of sticks but with a different color for just 3 rows, and that will achieve the outline look. You can get an outline with more than one kind of pattern. For example, this octagon that was white was followed up with a black outline of 3 rows. In this number 3 pattern, the over square was followed up with an outline, and the under squares were also followed up with outlines. So an outline is 3 rows on the same set of sticks with a different color. If you are working on a 4, make sure that you add notes to your card like this. You will have over square, octagon. Add another statement about an octagon, and then assign a color to each kind of wrap. You will do 8 rows of one color over square, then go to the other set of sticks and do 8 rows of another color over square, then 8 rows of octagon of the 3rd color, 8 rows octagon of a 4th color, and then repeat that entire process. Whatever you happen to do with your Ojo project today, just take your time and make sure each of your wraps are nice and smooth and even and tight. Be careful to make sure that you're alternating. So if you have a square on 4 sticks, make sure that your next square is on the other set of sticks. So for example, 8 rows over square on these 4 sticks, cut it, wrap it, and tuck it with the knife, and then turn your Ojo and do the next over square on the other set of sticks. That's what helps create balance and symmetry. Please take your time and do your best work. If at all today you feel overly confused or like it's just not working, please stop, put it aside, and just draw. I want to make sure that you do your best work on your Ojo. When I see you the next class, I'll make sure to check your work and show you what to do next. Good luck.